everyone. Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm a giant monster, and that is Felipe, your friend. This is the 818 Social Club podcast, episode 7, where we talk about ballet, talk
Yeah,
about figure skating,
figure skating, all the great sports, all
pogo
the
stick,
entertaining
pogo
things
stick
around the world.
jousting.
Curling's a good one.
Yeah, I like the aggressive curling.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they let them roid as much as they want.
Yeah, all the roids they can handle.
Yeah, and the distance is far greater. It's a
hmm
quarter mile,
Yeah,
so it makes it more interesting.
uh, the brooms are juiced.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only sport with a broom, right?
Yeah, I think Harry Potter. They have that other. What's it
That's
called?
right, Quidditch. That's
Quidditch.
right.
That's the
Oh,
real
dude,
sport. Yeah.
that's a real sport. That's so crazy, right?
Yep.
I mean, damn, people took it to the next level. I used to make fun of when I heard of ultimate frisbee.
Okay.
I used to think, God, that's probably so stupid. Man, those highlights,
They're
oh,
crazy. It's just
they're
like
insane.
football.
They're
Not
they're
just like football, but it takes skill like
oh
football.
yeah,
A different
but
kind of skill.
they're amazing athletes. You know what I really want to try? I want to try disc golf. You ever seen those?
Is that the one where they throw it into that little like stand with the chains and it has to
Yeah,
go
to
in
just
there?
so it
Kind of.
lands inside. Yeah, so
Do
like
we
it
have
absorbs the shock.
Do we
hmm
have any spot in LA that does that? I want to try that.
I don't know, but that it sounds amazing. I mean, it looks great.
I think.
You see them like I've seen shots where they shoot like
Yeah.
in between the trees. It's
Mhm.
insane. Like I mean, I suck. I can't aim a frisbee,
Yeah.
but for that sport, I'll learn. It's just with frisbees, I used to get bored really quick. But that it looks amazing. The other thing they do is I don't know if you've seen it. It's I forget what it's called, but it's a combination of soccer and golf.
Okay.
And so it's pretty much the same concept, but instead of playing golf, you're kicking the ball, and the
Okay.
cup is obviously big enough to fit a soccer ball. And at the Van Nuys golf course,
Yeah.
off of like Victory,
Okay.
they offer that. They,
Oh,
you know,
really?
yeah, I think probably maybe golf, the sport itself in the valley like started to die down a little bit, especially with that it's kind of a rinky dink course. Like I've never been on it, I've never played golf, but yeah, I thought, man, they must be desperate to switch up sports. But hey, whatever draws in the younger crowd, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah. Especially like you said, since real golfers, like none of my golf friends go to the valley for golf, right? They go far away to other places. So it is a good model to switch it up. Maybe even have
Yeah.
drinks there. I don't know if they have a bar, but a lot of golf courses do allow drinking, right?
Yeah, yeah, they should. I mean, have you ever played golf?
I've shot like just shooting, just hitting the ball. What is that called?
Shooting range?
Yeah, or driving range. There you go.
Driving range,
I've been in
yeah.
a driving range, but I've never been to a course or played on a course rather.
Could you hit the ball
Sometimes
pretty clean? Yeah. Did it take
I,
a lot? Did it take a lot of practice?
it does take a lot of practice. It's definitely harder than it looks, but I think I don't put much energy into it because I know it's not something I want to be good at. So that's
hmm
mainly why I suck. You'd
Right.
have to really want to go and become good at it. I'd rather put my effort into running or exercising or anything else besides that. Even video games, yeah.
Well, was it fun though?
Well, we went to, it is
Was that
fun. You drink and stuff.
yeah?
What's that spot in Vegas? Have you been there? That
Top, is it Top Golf?
Top Golf. Have you been there?
No, I've seen videos of it. I've never been.
I've been to Top Golf a few times. That's pretty fun. But you're
Yeah,
mostly
it looks
drinking
cool.
and eating. There's like a lot of pretty girls, so it's more about that. It's about being with friends rather than the actual sport, I would say.
Right. I guess at that point it becomes like bowling because you're kind of just sitting there taking turns, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And you're having some drinks, you're relaxing. Versus if you're in a real golf course, then you're just chasing those little balls around. And I mean that's probably fun too, but it's not as cool because you're not just hanging out in one spot, right?
Yeah, and like there's a bunch of TVs everywhere, so you get to see all the games, all the sports on for the day. They have other games there that you can play, like beer pong set up, like everything you could imagine. There's even a pool at Top Golf on one of the
Mhm.
floors, so it's pretty awesome. But I don't think I'd be into golf just
Yeah.
regularly. Would you?
I can't imagine. Imagine other sports like basketball, where you're like, hey, You know, it would be badass if in the middle of the game we had other sports that we could watch while we're like, no, you can't do that.
Can't
You're
do it.
playing
No.
basketball.
Right,
It
right.
requires all your attention and focus. There's no real downtime. I mean, in between, but even then, you're like, hey, hurry up and take out the ball and let's get it going. You know.
Yeah,
Same thing with football, and I don't want to say real sports. I don't want to disrespect golf.
yeah.
Nah, but like I said, I've never played the real thing, so maybe it is exciting. I don't know, but yeah, man, that's you know, the other thing my kids have tried. I kind of regret not going. There's a place in Balboa. I don't think they do it now because of COVID, but there was a point in time where at Woodley Park
Okay.
they would do free
Oh,
archery
nice.
lessons.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, my kids loved it, you know, but it wasn't, you know, the stuff wasn't free. They did it like once, maybe twice. And I offered them, like, you guys want me to get you, like, you know, a bow and some arrows and stuff. And they were kind of into it, but maybe not that much because they weren't, you know, they weren't all in. But I wish I would have gone. It looks fun. And my wife even liked it. She said that it was not that it was easy, but it wasn't as hard as she thought it was going to be, you know?
Right. So you've never done archery?
No, never. You?
No. Have you done axe throwing?
No, that looks fun too. There's a couple spots in the valley that I've been thinking about going, but
We
it's
should
just one of
go.
those things you're like, yeah, you've done it?
No, never. I'm down.
Oh, okay.
I'm so down.
Yeah, it looks cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks that looks like one of those things that you probably wouldn't do it all the time, but at least for the first couple times it would be fun just to like kind of roast each other and laugh at the because one of us is gonna suck, maybe both of us, but you
Mhm.
know, like
Yeah.
just
Do you
one
think
of
you
us is
suck?
nailing it and the other one's yeah, I would suck at it for
I
sure.
think I'd be good.
No, I when I was a kid, especially when we would go to Mexico, we used to throw not axes. I used to throw knives.
Okay.
I couldn't. I mean, I'm sure I wasn't. No one was teaching me. I just
Yeah.
they'd let you do. It was the Wild West. You just do whatever the hell you want. We used to light things on fire and get into all kinds of trouble. They, as kids, they would sell us beer,
Right.
so you know it was no.
Are you good at darts?
I don't think I've ever even tried darts. I used to have a I used to have a dartboard, but it was one of those plastic ones. You know what I'm talking about? And it's
Okay.
got all the little
Yeah.
pores and stuff. And you just it's yeah. I had that one. It was a I was pretty good at it, but it wasn't a real dartboard.
Yeah. We used to play darts, me and Chaz,
Yeah,
and Chaz is sober now. So I would drink and we would just play
nice.
darts at a pool hall or something.
Hmm.
We were so like overconfident. We would stand in front of the dartboard and then throw the darts just right above our head into the bullseye.
Nice.
So we were pretty damn good and confident to do that back then. So I think I'd be good at axe throwing.
Yeah, if not, you'd look like the Filipino Captain Fury, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or just land in the middle of my forehead, you know.
Yeah, that would suck, dude. But well, I'm glad you made it out okay.
Thank you, thank you. Oh,
Hey, man,
this weekend I watched the Cecil Hotel documentary. Have you seen it?
yeah,
You watched
I
also
did.
nice. What do you
Yeah,
think
I
of it?
also watched it. Um, crazy, crazy, crazy is an understatement. It's real wild, man. It,
I thought it was I heard the story on the news when it first happened, like many people did, right?
mhm,
But the story is the history of the hotel is way
mhm.
crazier than anything I ever imagined.
Yeah, the part where the lady who worked there for what 10 years, I think she said it was like from '07 to 2017 or something like that. That lady was weird because
She's in love with the Cecil Hotel. She wants to marry it.
I can't imagine being that in love with the place I used to work at when it was that troublesome, you know? I mean, she was talking about they made they made calls to 911 multiple times every day. I mean, I would think if we had to call 911
Once,
at our place of business once, we'd be like,
once,
man, that day
yeah,
really sucked.
yeah.
You know?
That was the worst day ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then if we had like a year where we had to do it like 3 times that year, we'll be like, wow, that was a horrible year. She was making calls almost every day.
every day. Well, they talked about all the rapes, all the murders, right? Serial killers.
The ones they
Richard,
know, by the way, the ones
oh,
they
yeah,
know
exactly.
about.
Yeah, Richard
Who
Ramirez
knows?
just walking in there all bloody, walking up the stairs like, oh, that's normal. It's
Who
cool.
knows? Who knows the stuff that went on there that does nobody even knows about? And the crazy thing is, you know, for people who don't live in LA, there that's where Skid Row is, and that's like a whole nother story all in itself. Skid Row is crazy dangerous, and
What's the
yeah,
number?
even
Like
my
hundreds of thousands of homeless people, right?
I don't know the numbers, but it's insane. And it was just the thought of having this one area where if you're from out of town and you walk in there to a Skid Row, something could happen to you if somebody lures you into one of those little tents or something. I
Right.
mean, there's a good chance nobody's gonna find you and no one's gonna come looking for you. Not in Skid Row.
No, there. Do you think anyone's ever been eaten alive on Skid Row that we don't know about? Like a homeless person just eating another, right? We talk. There's that story where that one dude was taking bath salts and he was
Yeah,
eating another homeless guy, and
yeah,
then the cops showed up and he ran towards the cops and growled at them, right?
yeah. And he started. Didn't he bite his face or something? It
Yeah,
was eating somebody's face. I mean, it's the darkest of the dark in that area. I hate to cast aspersions upon like it cast a wide net over all the homeless people there. But I mean, it is what it is, man. You can't imagine that there's a whole lot of good happening. And like I said, it's just one of those things where if they ever cleaned up that area, who knows what they would find. I
yeah,
mean, you could pretty much do. There's obviously human trafficking going on there, rampant drug use.
yep.
I'm sure there's lots of deaths that we don't even know. Probably bodies just chilling,
Have been for
they're
years, months.
probably buried under a pile of trash.
Mhm.
It's sad. It's really horrible, but it's all condensed in this one area. I don't know how often the cops actually go in there to check things out. So what are they gonna find? And they don't. Nobody. It's an eyesore, and everybody just kind of wants to look the other way. And unfortunately for the Cecil Hotel, it's like right there.
Yep.
They're right in the middle of it, and so now you have all these people. What really surprised me though was when they were saying that a certain like they couldn't evict people from the hotel because a certain like percentage of it had to be considered low income housing.
Right.
Dude, and they were talking about how if you're only paying, like $20 a night, I mean, you were spending like $400 or $500 a month, more or less.
Yeah.
Way cheaper for anybody that's not from California. I mean, a single apartment, like a studio, it's like over $1,000 almost everywhere per
Almost.
month.
Yeah, that's like 1600s cheap if you could find that.
What you can get a badass mortgage for out of state, like for a house, like a really nice house, you can't get almost. You just get a single bedroom apartment here in California. It's outrageous, but I mean, yeah, those people were living there. And what did the guy say? So there was one guy
Oh, he said,
who
don't
who's been
ever
there
go.
forever, right?
Yeah, don't ever go above the ninth floor because that's where people die.
And that lady is still defending this place.
Every
She's like, "Oh, I ran it for all those years. Maybe she didn't want to look like a total failure because of it." But I mean, dude,
I don't blame her though for that,
no.
right? It's
I
not
mean,
her fault.
there's
But
yeah.
don't defend it. That's what we're saying, right? It's not your fault. It's in Skid Row, we understand. But don't defend the evil place. Like that's the most evil place in LA, easily, right? That and Skid
Yeah,
Row.
yeah, possibly. I mean, if there was ever going to be a spot that was haunted, right? I mean,
Yes. That entire building.
yeah, it's very high percentage of unsolved mysteries and crimes, and but somehow this lady, Elisa Lam, her mystery pretty much tops them all. It's just very strange how it all went down. And I actually went back to watch the first episode uh, after watching the third because I was so confused on whether or not the latch was closed. So they talk about how she probably going through a bipolar manic episode.
Yeah.
She started like taking her pills a little bit less because I think they said they found more pills in her bottle than she should have had for
Mhm.
that length of a trip compared to like
Yeah.
when she filled it. Anyway, and that's why she was acting crazy. So they catch her on footage on the camera at the elevator. That's the video that went viral all those years ago, back in like 2013. And she seems like she's talking to somebody. Like I don't think they ever really show her moving her lips, but she's like opening her mouth, but she's like looking around,
Yeah.
and it's almost like she's hiding or playing around with somebody. It seems like she sees something,
Yeah.
and she goes in and out of the elevator. I do like that they kind of explained why the elevator was jammed for a little while
Yes. Yeah.
because Liz was like, "Hey, that doesn't make any sense. Look, I pushed the hold open button before, and it shuts like right away." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's not the same as the one they were pushing.
Yeah, that's
That
an
that
older
one was like
older
that one
elevator.
was like a stop.
Yeah.
It wasn't like reopen because I've done that for people when people are trying to make the elevator. Either
Right.
you'll put your hand in the sensor so it'll stay open a little bit longer, or you can push the door open. But door hold, they were saying it's supposed to be stuck for like 2 minutes, right?
Okay.
So that made sense about why the elevator door wasn't closing. But still, um, then for her to disappear and then end up in the water tower,
Hmm.
that was one of those things when so they talk about the reason they found out that the reason they found out she was up there is the cops came, they reported that she was missing, her family reported her missing because she hadn't called in a few days, and they knew something was up because she calls every day.
Yeah.
And they started looking for her. It was like, how long did they look for her? Like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe a
Something
little
like
bit
that.
more, something like that, like 19 days, 20 days before they found her. And they looked everywhere. But the crazy part was they they searched the roof, but they searched it at night.
Yeah. Do you think they were hiding something because they searched it at night? Like, so some people were saying it was the cops were hiding something, right?
Yeah.
And I feel that if they really wanted to solve this case, they could have did a better job. Obviously, Christopher Dorner, the cop that started shooting other cops, right, was going on in the same time period. So they allocated all the cops to do that instead, rather than have them all at the Cecil Hotel. But they did mess up a lot of simple things. I felt.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the simplest would be why not search during
Yes.
the day?
Or why not search it twice? Once at night, and then just come back tomorrow with two guys, two cops. You don't need anyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, you don't need a big crew.
Yeah.
You just start off one end of the roof and then go to the other and canvas the whole thing. I mean, look, what if you would have found, I mean, think about that. If you went People have jumped off out the window
Yes.
off of that building before.
Yeah.
What if she was having a manic episode and she climbed up on the roof and jumped off? Now you'd say, well, you would have found her, like you would have seen her splattered body. But what if she landed like on a tent? Or what if somebody found her and moved her body? I mean, who knows, right? I mean, there's a crazy possibilities can happen. But wouldn't you want to go up to the roof? And I know they had the cadaver dogs, but wouldn't you want to look around? Maybe there's footprints, maybe there's, a shoe, a piece of clothing, an earring. I mean, something. But you would need the date. You would need to do it during the daytime.
Did they bring the dogs to the roof as well?
I don't remember them saying they did, but they did
They
say that
put
they
them up
had the
there.
dogs like
Yeah.
everywhere, and they
Yeah.
they remember they said they literally searched every room, every closet, everything from top to bottom. But at the top, so what confused me too is so the maintenance guy, to explain, they had the water. Okay, that's how they figured out where she was. Some of the guests started complaining that their water was tainted and there was something wrong with the water. It tasted funny. They said they were showering in it. It was coming out brown, like really discolored. So they sent a maintenance guy to go up to the water tower to go check it out.
Yeah.
And then he says that there's a ladder
Okay.
that goes up to the tower and to the main tower.
Yes.
And that's when he said he opened the latch. I don't remember. See, that's what confused me. So he said he opened up the. It wasn't a latch. It was a cover,
Right.
but like a heavy metal cover. And he said he took it off and he looked inside, and there she was.
Hmm.
So by the end of the documentary, um, they kind of recant, and the guy says, "Oh no, the door was open, but I closed it." See, because the cops came and they all kept saying when we got up here, it was closed, and he made it very clear that he closed it, which I
Yeah.
never understood that anyway. I don't know why the janitor touched anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're in a state of shock. You're not thinking. You're just like, man, maybe maybe it's out of respect too. Like it's a dead person, you want to cover them up. I don't know, but he says he covered it, but I don't think he ever covered whether or not he said it was open. And actually, so
Well,
when I went
in
back,
the statement later on, it said that it was open, right?
Yeah, so they kind of started asking around, and they asked the janitor again or the maintenance guy, was it open? He said, yeah, it was open when I found it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of part of their investigation, right? That's what was worrying them for the longest time, was that somebody had to have closed it behind her. Because they were saying there's no way that she could have closed it. And if you look at it, it doesn't make sense because I guess the water level never gets so high that she could have climbed
Climbed
out.
back. Yeah.
Once she got in, she was done,
Yeah.
right? And that's another thing too. I don't know much about those water towers, but doesn't it seem like it's um doesn't it seem like it should be that way? So doesn't it seem like there should be a built-in ladder to
Yes.
climb out of the tower?
Yeah.
Should someone accidentally fall in?
Or just a latch. Yes. Something. Anything. Yeah.
Something to grab onto.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that I mean, seriously, what
But
if
but I think it was so old school. They didn't have precautions like that for towers or anything like that. But
yeah.
I think we're dwelling on the wrong things, right? Did you think someone killed her, or do you think she went in there on her own while she was having a bipolar incident?
Well, I think it could be both. I don't. It's very possible she killed herself. It's very possible in her manic episode she killed herself. So what made it look creepy was that she was naked and that she was floating face up.
Right.
Not that that really had anything to do with anything, but still, the fact that she was naked. You think about it. Yeah, if you're in a body of water and you're maybe you feel like your clothes is weighing you down, you'll take it off. Or if you're having a manic episode,
Yeah.
also you're just gonna take off your clothes. But then you could also say, well, maybe somebody there was an incident with her. Maybe she was going to be sexually abused. Maybe she was. And when it was done and she was dead, they threw her in. She was already naked. They said, screw it. Let's just throw all her clothes in,
See,
you
the
know?
thing is though, like I don't think she would have been carried up there without her body being damaged, right? Like
Yeah.
there'd be bruising, there'd be scratches. Like it takes a really strong dude to carry 110-pound person. I don't know what she weighed, right?
Right.
But
She didn't look
putting
too big.
someone on your shoulder and climbing a ladder,
Yeah.
that's there's no way he did that clean, right?
Well, yeah, I agree. And then you figure there probably would have been some sort of damage. Um,
And then did he put her in the water tower? You know what I mean? Like her head would have hit. Like how do you put her so perfectly inside of the water tower without her head hitting something, leaving a bruise?
yeah.
There was nothing like that whatsoever.
Well, that remember though, the body was pretty damaged.
You're right.
It
It was already
had already started
yeah,
decomposing, and
yeah.
that's why the water was so tainted.
That's
Which
true. So it could have been someone murdering her then. That's not ruled out then. Why did they rule that out? Because you're right. You're not going to see bruises if she decomposed that bad, right? You're not going to see scratches.
I don't know. I don't know how the police procedures work. I don't know if you're allowed to leave cases open, and as long as they are open, do you just stop investigating them? Do you
Yeah.
have to close the case? That's where some of the conspiracy theory comes in, where they're like, it seems like it was a cover up by the cops because it just seemed like they wanted to put it behind them and move on.
Yeah.
But you also have to take into consideration, dude, it's the Cecil Hotel. With the history they have, there's probably a bunch of murders that went on like that in that one. It's just that this one was so publicized because the lady was on the news for being missing for so long
Right.
because she had a family that cared about her. I'm sure there's a lot of people who went in that hotel who never came out, who nobody was looking for, unfortunately.
What do
You know?
what do you think about the similarities to the movie?
Oh, that's right. It's crazy, man. You know,
What was the name of the movie? Do you remember?
shoot, I can't remember.
The
It was a
Dark
pretty.
Tower or something? The Water Dark something?
It might have been no, not Dark Tower. I forget, but it was crazy. They said that so there was a movie that was pretty much the plot of what happened, right? It was
Oh
almost
yeah,
like
Dark Water.
Dark Water. That's right. And s- to this moment, I mean, seriously, the thing that blew me away more than anything else was just the fact that so they mentioned what was it to the tie-in with tuberculosis? That she had TB?
No, she worked at she was from a college in Canada where they specialized in TB,
Okay.
specialized in like researching it. And then later on, the whatever test or whatever was the
Mhm.
Lam Elisa test, which is her name backwards.
Yeah, her name is Elisa Lam, and the name of the test is called the
Lam
Lam
Elisa.
Elisa test. And it was one of those things where you wish you could get more information. So you wish you could ask the parents, "What's up? What are the odds?" Right?
Right.
What are the odds? Did you guys know about this test and think, "Oh, that's a nice name"? If you and our name happens to be Lamb, did that somehow come into play? Is it just a coincidence? For me, I mean, I do believe in coincidences, but I also there think that there's other things that go on that we just don't know. And
Especially in this scenario. Come on,
yeah,
that's something's weird with that, right?
well, for anybody that really fucks with the Mandela effect and believes in it like I do, that's what I think. I think there's a lot of that stuff that goes on, like as far as like dimensions. There's just too many coincidences. There's too many things that can't be explained, and I feel like there's got to be something that we obviously you can't explain it, so you have to kind of go into the paranormal, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And in this case, man, there's just too many things that tied in with that murder. It was so crazy. But I don't really like the way it ended. It almost seems like, yeah, they just kind of tied it up and just said like, hey, yeah, probably killed herself, and that's that. But for those guys, so there was people that were investigating, like, um people that were investigating, what do they call them, like home sleuths or something, or
Yes.
internet sleuths.
Tube sleuths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they were saying like these guys were spending years of their lives trying to figure it out, like mapping out step by step where would she have been in the hotel. But the thing that kind of bugged me though was, so there's cameras everywhere, right? And they do say that there's a picture or a video of her with like two guys, and they handed her a bag, right? It
Yep.
was She was with two guys, they handed her a bag and she took it upstairs, and I don't think they found the bag, and so they don't know what, to this day they don't know what she was getting from them. But
Oh, I think it was books.
those books, right? Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. It
The
was
last bookstore.
from
Yeah.
the last bookstore,
Yeah.
right? But what I'm thinking is, she was there for a couple days, right, before she disappeared.
Yes.
Where was the other video? I think there had to have been more videos of her walking through the hotel.
So you're saying they should have released more footage for people to find online, right? For the regular person to analyze it and maybe come up with a solution as well.
Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
look, when you watch, I like watching investigation shows, and I like watching detective shows. And one thing I always think is really cool is that they always say, um, "Is there anything else you can think of? Anything at all? Like, no matter how insignificant you may think it is, it could help out." And that's true. That's true. What if somebody was wearing a specific type of ring, or like a necklace
Anything.
that was near her, and they go, "Oh, this that ties this person into
Right.
this," or
Right.
this person was wearing this hat, and then you found it in down the hallway in a trash can. Like, oh, this person was there. It's the tiniest things could tie it all together, but they didn't release those videos, and I don't understand why. I mean, they were desperate for information. They were desperate for any kind of clues, especially when they didn't know where she was.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, those people that dedicated their lives to trying to solve that murder, I mean, they put together so much information. They looked at blueprints. The crazy part is in that when they were convinced the security guard to just let them up to the roof, right? Or
Yeah.
was it? Or it was like a janitor, right? They
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it has an alarm. They weren't supposed to go up there, and they got up there, man.
I respect them also for going there actually and trying to do their best.
Yeah, and they were in that hallway, and they were trying to like go in that elevator. That was creepy. When you see them like walk up to the elevator where it all happened, where that
Yeah.
video happened, you're just like, oh, dude, it was,
After knowing more about
yeah,
that hotel, I asked you about this hotel before, right? Would you
yeah.
stay there for X amount of money? After seeing that documentary, would you still stay there?
I want to stay there less, less than
Yeah.
I did before.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know much about it. Now that I know enough, I definitely don't want to go there.
Yo,
I
so
mean,
those poor people
yeah,
that were like brushing their teeth, drinking the water, showering in a chick decomposing in the water tower.
dude,
Crazy,
they're
right?
they're traumatized for life, dude. I mean, if you brushed your teeth with it, and they were drinking it, because that's what we were talking about before, I guess folks from different countries just drink the tap water.
They
We
do that in
don't.
Europe, right? But
Yeah.
they don't do that when the water is brown and smells, right? Like that's a really stupid move. Sorry to
Yeah,
say.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you ever seen you ever seen Back to the Future Part 3?
Yeah, not in a while, but yeah.
There's like a scene when McFly, because they go back to the old west, and Marty McFly, they or Clint Eastwood, uh, they ask him like, "What do you want to drink?" and he says water, and they like pour him a cup of water, and it's like really brown though,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
from a well. I mean, so I'm not saying that everybody from another country drinks brown water. I'm saying they probably just don't scoff at it. They're just probably like, "Oh yeah,
No,
it's just
but
from the pipes,
they weren't even from like Eastern Europe. They were like from a regular ass like Switzerland. Like they don't
like
got brown
Canada."
water and your tap water is very good, I'm sure, you know.
Who knows, man? I just thought it was funky that they were like, yeah, we thought it tasted funny. I got up to drink water, and I poured it like, maybe because we're Californians and we only drink bottled water, or
Yeah.
it's got to be like ultra purified water. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if I was taking a shower, as soon as the water turns brown, even now I'm getting out. You know what I mean? Even if it's
Yeah.
at my house.
Yeah, you ever do that where you go on vacation for 2 weeks or whatever, you're just out of town, you
Mhm.
come home, turn on the water, and it runs like a different color, right? It's been
Yeah,
sitting in the pipes or whatever.
yeah, but it usually clears pretty quick.
Yeah, so then you just leave it and go, oh, okay, it's clear. Cool, I'm gonna use it now.
Mhm.
But if you like turned it on and it stayed that way for 5 minutes, why would you touch it?
Mm-mm.
I'm
Yeah, like
sure
I
it
said,
smelled coming out of the pipe, by the way.
I'd get whatever soap I could, like off my hair or my face or whatever, but I'd get
Yeah.
out like as fast as possible. If it's brown, I mean, you don't know what that is. I mean, I would never assume it's rotting corpse
But
water,
still,
but
yeah. Or even if
but
it's
even then,
heavily rusted, you don't
yeah,
want to
I
touch
still
that.
don't need it on my skin
Yeah.
or to drink it or brush my teeth with it.
What do you think about them making the hotel into or making that hotel into luxury apartments and a luxury hotel? Here they're gonna put a fancy bar on the roof.
Yeah, with a pool, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
crazy.
I, I think they're asking for trouble. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think it's a bad investment. I think at
Well,
this point,
maybe it
yeah.
would be okay if you literally kicked everyone out, rebuilt the whole thing from top to bottom, and then brought in a priest, like brought in like 12 priests from Italy to like really like get rid of the evil spirits, and then maybe you're okay. Maybe
That the Vatican All Stars,
you would need the Vatican All Star Game. Yeah,
all their
all the best from around the world.
all
Get
the
them,
best exorcists from
yes,
around the world. Yes, for
from
sure.
everywhere, from Italy, from England, Brazil, like someone that performed miracles. Grab all of them, grab 50 of them, and
Hmm.
then just clean up the hotel.
Yeah, good luck. Even then, right? I mean, that place is so like they were talking about how Richard Ramirez had stayed there. Like he'd be out. This when he was in doing his murders, and like yeah, he'd probably come into the hotel covered in blood. But again, you're talking about Skid Row. It could have been his own blood. It could have been somebody else's blood, but you're not going to ask questions. I mean, you're going to up to your hotel room. You're not from this country in some cases, or the people that were staying there. You're or you are from LA and you know better. You know to mind your own damn business.
Yeah. Hey,
And
those poor people coming from other countries, like they're broke and they're staying there. Those poor European people.
can
That
you imagine how pissed they must be when there's movies like Hostel? And people always think like, oh, this only happens in those weird European countries. And then they come to California and it looks like something out of Hostel. And they're like, oh, you guys are the ones that do that shit, not us.
yeah.
That's so crazy. But but the hard part is I don't understand how they're gonna do that when you have Skid Row downstairs. What are you gonna do? They gotta District 9 that shit. They gotta go
Yeah.
build like a camp and just make it its own little town.
No,
And just
you're
make
right.
it,
Like if half of it is a luxury hotel and the other half is luxury apartments, what do people expect? There's gonna be bums on the streets still. Every time your rich ass comes home, you have to deal with all those bums and all those drug addicts. Very dangerous ones too. Not the regular ones we get in the valley. These are like the craziest ones possible.
I don't know how those apartments and I don't and the hotel. I don't know how those rates could be high
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense. It's just a bad area. Like why would you want to go there? Even if it's nice and it's cheap for to if I have to spend a little bit more for safety, I'm not gonna stay there. I mean, especially I have kids. Why would I bring my kids to that
Okay.
area?
What if it was like 1,000 a month, and you have security downstairs so bums won't come in? But just knowing that it's the Cecil Hotel, knowing that floor, you have a penthouse, right? Like you have the whole floor, but
Mm.
you know people were killed there, raped there.
Nah, man, I believe in that bad energy, dude. I
Oh,
think
for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I think something's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's just you can't control it. And honestly, I think the foul play was within that hotel.
I
I
agree.
really do. I
Yes.
feel like somebody
Someone
there knows
nudging.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody saw her. Worst case, I feel like somebody saw her and just decided to keep their mouth shut.
Fuck it. Yeah.
And you know what? I did and I didn't feel bad for that guy. There was a guy that was blamed for it, that rocker guy,
Yes.
the death metal guy that was
Yo,
like
so
making this.
that's what I told Crystal. Crystal's like, "Hey, why are you gonna blame that guy?" I'm like, whatever his angle is, whether he did it or didn't do it, even you making songs suggesting like you did, yeah,
Yeah.
you're asking for it. Of course, people are gonna
Yeah.
be pissed. Like you're trying to just take this scenario and profit off of it. Yeah, you're a shitty dude regardless, right?
I mean, okay, look, freedom of speech, if he's not really hurting anybody, do whatever you want,
Yeah,
okay? But don't be upset when people think you're a freak. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
right.
Don't don't be upset. Like, why would he? It's almost like he was like, why would anyone think I'm a bad guy? And then he's mur- he's talking about murdering and like how he's tied to the devil and he's
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 gonna drown her in China.
he loves evil. It's like, come
Yeah,
on. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's
There's no
it's
good
not
outcome for that.
they weren't accusing John Mayer. Like
Right.
it was whoever this guy was. And so while it kind of sucks that, he may have gotten in trouble and yeah, maybe people were harassing him for a little bit. But I mean, he's like, yeah, he goes, I I can't even make music anymore. And I'm like, oh, we don't get to hear that anymore. Like, shut the like, come on. Okay, wouldn't doesn't it make sense? Like more sense, wouldn't it? It's almost like a rapper who raps about killing people and then gets falsely blamed for a murder, doesn't go to jail for it,
Yeah.
gets questioned by the cops, but doesn't that bring him more clout to
Yes.
be like, yo, this fool really kills people?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what that guy wants to sing about. That's what his music's about. It's like death and torture and murder. Like, shouldn't he have been stoked that people really thought that he killed somebody?
Yeah. That's what his goal was, right?
So what the fuck?
Also, I haven't heard his music. Obviously, he's been taken off of
Yeah,
social media.
me neither.
But there's a lot of like death metal bands or just metal bands that really play that angle. But they're great musicians. Like they could solo. The drummer's insane. With this dude, is like, yeah, do you have skill or you just kind of making fun of something? You're just
Hey,
finding a
and look,
weird angle.
if he's got a fan base and people like it, enjoy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't be such a little bitch about it. I just thought he was being a crybaby about the whole thing. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, again, if he was just a normal dude that wasn't promoting violence and portraying these things in his videos and his music and his art, then okay, fine. I could see why you'd be upset. But I mean, come on, man.
And also, your topic is very dark.
Yeah,
When people have a visceral reaction to that, why are you getting mad, right? Like that angle makes people mad in the first place,
yeah.
right?
I'm sure part of the artistry was that he was creating shock value.
Exactly. That's what
He
it was.
wanted to elicit a bad reaction from people.
And
He
you got
wanted
it.
people to be afraid of him.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, all of a sudden, you know.
You don't
But
want
maybe
yeah.
maybe it was all BS. Maybe I mean not that he got all that negative attention and that stuff, but maybe this was his way of almost making himself like a victim so that when he does come back out with music, people will support him. I mean, I don't know. Like, who knows?
Now there's definitely going to be an audience that does support him. Whether it's
Yeah.
a small percentage, there's going to be a few of those people for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, let's give him another chance." I don't know. I don't get it. It's not my genre of music. I couldn't enjoy that stuff. But yeah, like I said, whoever likes it, enjoy it. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
But no, but I would say Cecil documentary. I definitely recommend for people to watch it. Out of a 10, I'd say it's probably about 8.5. Like I said, I didn't really like the ending.
It started
Uh,
stronger and got weaker. I'd still give it a 9. The way it intrigued you to want to watch the next episode, right? Like, didn't
yes,
it leave you wanting more? I think that's
yeah.
a sign of a good documentary or a good show.
It left me wanting more after every episode. I just wish I would have actually gotten more at the end. Like I said, it feels like there was too much stuff that didn't get answered. Like I wanted to hear from the parents. Like they didn't even let them speak at the press conference at
I don't
all.
think
They
they
didn't they
wanted to.
didn't speak at all in the documentary.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was kind of weird. I wanted to know why. What did they think about the name? Would they have been like, "Wow, we had no idea," or did they know something?
That's an interesting angle,
Yeah.
but I guess you just went through so much, you want to be left alone at that point from their perspective. You know what I mean? If that happened to your family member and they're like, "Hey, yo, you want to be on this Netflix show talking about your family member that was potentially killed?" A lot of people would say no to that unless you're really money hungry, right? And
I,
they're Asian and they're from Canada. They're like two nice cultures. They're not about that, you know?
well, no, speaking for myself only.
Yeah.
I, f- thank God it's never happened to me. Knock on wood. Hopefully, it never does. But if I felt like my daughter or my loved one's murder had been unsolved, if I feel like it wasn't enough,
Mm.
yeah, I would want to talk in the documentary, and I would want to put more information out there so that somebody can catch the person who did and bring them to justice, or find out what really happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they really do believe the official story that she killed herself because of the medical manic that was caused by the not taking her bipolar medication, then I would still want to speak out to warn people, especially those who are bipolar, like please seek
Sure.
help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take your medication. Don't end up like my daughter. Not necessarily for the money, but at the same time just to bring attention to it if they really felt like that's what happened. But you never hear from them. And like I said, the other thing I wanted to know was the ladder that led up to the tower. Was the ladder already in place? Did they have to move the ladder? That wasn't clear to me.
No, I think the ladders were just built into each side.
See, because I remember looking at it, and I remember the tower where she was found in.
Yeah.
They didn't have a ladder on it. I mean, that I remember. I don't remember seeing a ladder attached to it. And the way it looked from the angle from the where the maintenance guy went up, he said I had to move the ladder. He said there was a ladder to climb the tower, and I feel like he said I had to move it because one of the cops was saying
Oh,
that
you're right. Yeah, there's only one ladder. It's a ladder that
yeah,
you must move. Yeah.
and the cop was saying she would have had to climb over pipes and climb across to the tower where she was found, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So where was the ladder? Did the maintenance guy move it back when the cops were searching for? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me. So that feels like it's a big piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then how did she get up there if the ladder? Like I said, unless it could have been on the wrong tower, and like they said, maybe that's what they meant, that she had to climb up the tower, climb over the pipes, climb across to the other tower, open the latch or whatever the cover, and then hop in, die, and then the maintenance guy would have had to move the ladder to the correct tower, and then put it up. I don't know. Like I said, just stuff that didn't get covered, and the fact that I kept waiting the night that they were searching for the body, and they were using the helicopter to light the roof.
Yeah.
I'd say, hey, this system kind of sucks because we're wasting taxpayer money with, with the helicopter in the sky. And on top of that, this is not as effective as daylight.
No, also, yeah. So that makes me think you're either incredibly stupid or you did that intentionally,
Who
right?
knows?
Like if anyone was missing, if one of these cops had missing family members in the forest,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Let's go look for my kids," And I go, hey, we'll do it at night with a helicopter. They'd say, no, fuck you. We're going to do it in the daytime. We could do it at nighttime, but we're going to also do it in the daytime. You know, that they did that family a disservice by doing it at night. They just messed up in general a whole lot, which is what
I'm
leads people to the conspiracy, right? That
yeah, yeah.
we
No,
don't think you guys are that dumb. You guys are smart when you want to be.
dude. Anytime money's involved in any way, in any capacity, I never put out any possibility. I feel like anybody can be corrupted,
Mhm.
and that place is such a hot zone for like human trafficking.
Yeah.
Um, it, and considering they say they call the cops constantly, you know, it's one of those things where if it's not getting cleaned up, it's almost like is it on purpose?
Oh, that's what I mean. Like that place sold for what, 16 million originally, right?
Yeah,
And now it's worth 80 million.
crazy.
Who in their right mind would pay for 16 million for that hotel? There are like really nice apartment complexes in Santa Monica, very close to the beach, selling for 4 million, 5 million. You could buy one of those, make your money up in a few years, right?
Yeah,
With no problems, no murders, no rapes, no drugs, nothing. So you're paying 16 million for that piece of shit hotel. That's probably a front. Like you said, there's trafficking, there's drugs going on. Like that could be a port for drugs. We don't know.
I feel like somebody doesn't really want it to get cleaned up because
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
they talk about when for example, when the Olympics went to not the Olympics, when the World Cup went to Brazil,
Yeah, yeah,
they built stadiums that are now empty.
yes,
That'll never get used again, and
yeah,
they're like in remote areas of Brazil. And so when things need to get built and when you want to do something, they clean up areas. They moved masses of people to different areas to clean up for the World Cup. And they do the same thing for the Olympics. And so it just makes me think if it was really something that wanted to get cleaned up, they could do it.
yeah.
But maybe somewhere along the line somebody's just deciding to look the other way, and there's the invisible hand that's, telling them like, "Nah, man, this place needs to stay as is."
Well, that's just homeless people in general throughout everywhere, California, right?
Yeah.
It's happening because someone's allowing it to happen. They're not fucking stupid. And if they legitimately are that stupid, we shouldn't be having this many homeless people.
Yeah, I know. That's a whole nother issue though.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, hey, did you check out the fight this weekend?
Yes, yes. What are your thoughts on Blades and Lewis?
Derek Lewis is a freaking powerhouse, man. That punch was insane. That fight was good. It was a good fight.
Yeah,
I haven't stood up for a punch like that I could almost see it coming.
yeah,
That's what made it that's what made it even more exciting because I could almost recall. I don't know if I actually said it out loud or if it was in my mind, but I'm pretty sure I went, "Oh, watch out!" like right before it happened,
yeah,
because I mean, Lewis said it. He's like, I'm just gonna wait for my moment." He tried that punch a couple of times, I think, throughout the fight,
yeah, yeah.
but that's the one that landed. And man, did he capitalize on that.
I think Blades should have implemented way more wrestling for a guy that has that much power punching. You
Hmm.
know, like that's too dangerous of a game to play with him.
Yeah, definitely wrestle him, but I think it would have done him some good to work on kicks, work on long range attacks, just to keep him away so he can't clip you too easily,
Yeah,
and just survive. Because I feel like Lewis is the kind of guy that's going to get, if you can get him into that third round, he's going to be really gassed,
mhm.
and that's when you have a better shot. I mean, like, so his 70% power shot can put out just about anybody,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
So why not wait till he's probably like shooting, like throwing punches at like 60, 50% because he's tired, you know?
well,
But I
yeah.
mean
That goes to what I was saying, right?
yeah,
Use wrestling.
right. But that's him shooting for the takedown is what got him clipped.
No, but he did it later on when Lewis got comfortable, right? Like
Mm,
look at what Cormier did. Same wrestle heavy, wrestle, right?
right.
Nonstop wrestling.
Yeah.
Once he got comfortable, like at what point did he knock him out? That's kind of the key, I
I
feel.
think it was the second round, maybe within like the first 2 minutes, right?
Okay. Yeah, so you let him get comfortable for a whole round. You can't do that with a hard puncher like Lewis.
Yeah.
Just like with sometimes you see a good kickboxer and they let the kickboxer get a good rhythm, and then when they try to take him down in the second round, he's so comfortable he just knees you and knocks you out. No, you have to take him down like 3 times in the first 5 minutes in the first round. Then he's going to be so uncomfortable he won't kick you anymore.
Yeah, that's true. As
Yeah.
soon as you get because as soon as you get Derek Lewis down, if you manage to stay on top of him
Yes.
or put him in a position where he's having to work
Yeah.
the whole time, yeah, he's gonna expend a lot more energy that way, trying to get up and trying to get you another heavyweight off of him.
Yes.
But still, man, I mean, either way, that punch was I mean, I got out of my seat. I was like, oh my god, like that was so crazy. I just yelled, I was like, oh shit, you know.
And also,
Um,
we should respect Lewis for getting better. He's not
yeah.
the same brawler. He's still knocking people out, but the manner in like the technique he uses is way better than when he first started in the UFC.
Oh,
And he has
definitely.
good takedown defense now. Not the best, but very strong. Very
Yeah,
strong.
he was. I don't think that takedown, even if he hadn't hit him, I don't think he was going to be able to take him down. Not at that point. Not
Yeah.
at that point. Not with that shot. But yeah, definitely, like all around, getting better. You know, hopefully he's working on his cardio because I think that's going to be, if he really wants to become world champion, like a fight versus Stipe. Stipe is going to be a lot smarter. I think he's a better striker than Blades anyway,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so it's and Stipe's got a hell of a chin on him too. I mean,
And
DC got him, but beyond that, it's just that dude could take a punch.
not
So
only that, but if Stipe is the same guy that fought Cormier in the last fight, the skinny
yeah,
Stipe, who's
yeah,
incredibly fast and the most well-rounded dude at that division,
yeah,
yeah, he's gonna beat everyone probably, except Ngannou. Ngannou's only chance is that knockout punch, right? Without
yeah.
that, if Stipe can do what he wants, he's gonna win.
I think this is probably that I can recall probably the biggest group of dudes that I actually like am cool with in the heavyweight division. I don't think there's anybody that I dislike. And it's kind of sad for any one of them to lose. I think Stipe is a good guy,
Yeah,
and same thing with Ngannou. I mean, Ngannou's story of coming to America is insane.
that's an
He's got
amazing
an
story. Yeah.
incredible story. And then Derek Lewis is just a funny ass guy, man. He's,
No,
he's
and
just
and
fucking cool.
he has a good story too, right? He was a street dude getting into trouble, found
Yeah,
MMA, now he makes a career out of it, and it's shown when he has money, he's a good dude, right? Like he helps people. He helped people when there was flooding in Texas, so he has a good heart. I
yeah,
like all these dudes.
yeah. So it's tough to cheer for someone. I
So
mean,
you know what we do? We cheer for all of them. May the best fighter win,
yeah,
and we
exactly.
still have
I
love
hope.
for each of you.
Yeah, I hope they all. More than anything, I hope they all get paid. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
hope they all get paid, and if not within the UFC, they put on such a good performance they can make their money elsewhere, outside with some sort of promotion or
Well, those three
sponsor.
in particular, they're not being let go. I don't think they let Lewis go. They're going to give him
No,
whatever
no,
he wants when he
yeah,
re-ups his
yeah,
contract.
yeah. Right now, he's hotter than ever right now for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I think he's in line. I mean, obviously, you got John Jones, in line after he gets whoever wins between Stipe and Ngannou, and that's kind of sucky for Lewis. But hey, dude, I doubt it. But if Jones, if there was ever anybody that would piss hot headed into a fight, it's possible John Jones is one of those people.
Yeah, yeah.
And so Derek Lewis has to be ready to go.
What do you think about if Rosenstreet could win this weekend against Cyril Gahn? While they wait, put Rosenstreet against Derek Lewis
Dude. Rosenstreak's power for not being as big a guy.
as some of these
uh,
other dudes. Yeah.
He's just something about he's got that Conor McGregor left hand, like that power, the mystique behind it.
Or
You just get touched by it and you're
yeah,
just
he's
out.
jabbing people and knocking them out.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Like Ngannou uses everything:
yeah,
powerful, athletic, fast, good timing, everything. Rosenstreet doesn't look that. He doesn't look like Ngannou,
yeah.
but he's destroying people as well.
Oh, dude. I mean,
Him
his.
versus Lewis, amazing fight.
I don't think that gets past the second round.
Yeah, someone's going down.
Yeah, right.
Someone's going down.
Somebody's lights are going out. It's
Yeah.
hard to imagine. Have we seen Derek Lewis get knocked out? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
I think he's lost decision and maybe a TKO.
Let's look that up real quick.
Huh. But yeah, but then again, it's like it's just that if you're with Derek Lewis, man, if you're within punching range, you're automatically in the danger zone. I mean, there's a reason why he has the record for the most knockouts, right?
Oh, he lost to the Santos by punches, round 2,
Round two.
and Mark Hunt, round 4.
But did he go out?
No, they weren't KOs.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
TKOs, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's close. It's close. But still, you know, I mean, the dude can take a punch. And he could certainly deliver one as we've seen.
And he's getting better.
Yeah.
He's always improving.
I just wish that a lot of these fighters, especially the champions, could have like more personality, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like it's not their fault, but there's so many athletes. Like you look at a guy like Mike Trout in baseball. He's probably one of the best baseball players in MLB history, but he doesn't really have a personality.
yeah.
So, he never gets any attention. And in a way it's kind of good because he's never a distraction for the team. But at the same time, it's just the dude gets he gets
Wait,
no love.
why do you think so? Would you say Tom Brady has a good personality though?
Yeah, he talks a little bit of shit, man. I mean,
Okay,
people
okay.
know he
I
talks.
don't follow him enough to know, but
No, he talks. He's known to talk some shit, and
okay,
it doesn't hurt that he was married to
Giselle.
a
Yeah,
Victoria's Secret
yeah,
model.
yeah,
Sometimes it almost seems like if they're Mike Trout should have dated a Kardashian.
yeah.
I
Or a
mean, they're not
supermodel, any supermodel.
they're not his type.
Yeah,
I mean, or rather, he's not their type.
yeah,
But something to that effect. I feel like he could have. I mean, he probably he's married and he has a kid, but I feel like sometimes the female accessory that you bring along, if you can make it to, if you would have dated somebody that could have taken him to a red carpet,
yeah.
that would automatically bring him into.
No, no, but you're right. So going back to Trout, his interviews aren't very good, right?
I don't know. I can't remember
Like
most of them.
he's not like on Conan O'Brien. He doesn't talk to Jimmy
No.
Kimmel. Like doing all that helps you get in the public eye a little more.
Yeah.
It's definitely helpful.
Well, let's put it this way. I always look at it like this. You're not a very big personality in pop culture if I can't recognize your voice.
Right.
Like I have no idea. I can't think of what Mike Trout's voice sounds like.
Mhm.
You can almost picture just about anybody that's a known celebrity. You can kind of hear their voice in your head. I
Yeah.
have no idea what he sounds like, and I'm sure I've watched interviews with him.
Yeah.
It's just
So
nothing stands out.
going back to Stipe, same thing. No personality. Good dude. Firefighter. Great
Yeah,
fighter.
yeah,
Love everything. Nice guy. You're
hmm
just not funny. You're not compelling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ngannou's better though. If Ngannou can become champion, they would love him as a champ.
Oh yeah,
He's
especially right
interesting.
now.
Did you hear him on Joe Rogan's?
I've heard clips. I haven't heard the whole thing. I want to
But
I want to listen to the whole show.
even like the clips were very interesting, right?
Oh yeah, when he
Can you
talked about
imagine listening to Stipe? You'd be like, I don't give a fuck, dude. What are we doing here?
yeah, his most interesting thing was when he was asking those two reporters to fight each other at the press conference.
I didn't see that.
Remember?
No.
He was like one of them wanted to ask a question, and then the other guy asked like at the same time, and then he started going, fight for it!" Like he started to fight, to like fight each other. That was probably the most exciting part of his press conferences that he's had. Like, cause even DC is just a funny. He's got a personality.
Yeah.
But remember when DC was calling out Ryan Bader at this
Yeah.
press conference?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
No, DC's great. Who else is good? Derek Lewis, good.
Yeah.
If only Stipe.
Even
If he had personality, he would
yeah.
rule the world of MMA.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you had Connor personality and you're a heavyweight. Moneymaker, right?
Yeah.
Connor should ghostwrite for him.
Yeah.
Stipe.
Yeah, for sure. That's what they need to do. I don't know if Stipe is married, but he needs to put it out there. He could talk to his agent. Like there's got to be some like pop model,
No, I think he is
uh,
married.
like is Selena Gomez married? And if not, like, can she take him to like one of those red carpet events? Just imagine like just some odd couple that you would never see, and they'll be like, just say they're allegedly dating. Like he doesn't even have to hold her hand the whole time. He just do like the Keanu Reeves where he like puts their hand behind their back, but he never actually makes contact
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
he's smart and he doesn't want to get me too'd.
yeah, yeah.
That guy's a genius, man. I love that shit. I love that he's so smart when he does that. But that's all he needs, you know? That and they need to have like a good backstory. Like, I mean, I know Stipe, he does have a good backstory in that he's a firefighter, but I feel like there needed to be more of a struggle, right?
No, it's not a struggle's good, right?
Yeah.
It's literally Stipe doesn't have personality. It's
Hmm.
and it's not like he does have personality. It's just not the personality we want for a superstar, right?
Maybe maybe
Jordan was super competitive. Kobe super competitive. Every athlete you can think of has that a few characteristics that you can identify them with. Stipe doesn't have it. I'm sure there are firefighters, just regular dudes that are far more interesting than Stipe. There's thousands of them,
yeah.
So it's not the job. It's really just Stipe.
What if he had like a really, like, no offense to fast food workers, but what if he had like a shitty job where he was like he was just at McDonald's, and then some MMA gym spotted him, like some coach spotted him, brought him in, and then he's like his nickname is the Fry Master,
Right,
or
right, right.
or or they call him Stipe Big Mac Miocic. That would automatically bring him more, right? Like more attention, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like it's something so such a stupid gimmick, right? Like he used to be a fry cook, right? Like where do you imagine Stipe working when it, like, yeah, I got a good idea. Let's assign people jobs,
okay,
right?
okay.
Like if they weren't, if the people asked, like, did you hear what Derek Lewis said? They asked him if you weren't. Bisping asked him. He said, "Hey, Lewis, if you Derek, if you hadn't become an MMA fighter, what do you think you'd be doing?" You know what he said?
What?
Porn star.
Who said this?
Derek Lewis.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he said, yeah, man. He goes, it's something I was interested in. He goes, he said something like, ever since I was 15, once I figured out what goes where, he's like,
Funny.
I've
Yeah.
been interested in that ever since. I was thinking, what if okay, for example, um GSP, if we give him a restaurant, he has to work like at a Tim Hortons, right? It's got to be a Canadian spot,
Yes. Yeah.
right? What do you think, Wonder Boy? Wonder Boy strikes me as a Chick-fil-A kind of guy,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Super
right?
religious. Yeah. Clean.
Super nice guy.
Yeah. Super clean. Yeah.
Derek Lewis, where do you put him at?
Popeyes has to be Popeyes.
Oh yeah, you're
100%.
right. He
Has to be
defended
Popeyes.
he
Yeah.
defended Popeyes' honor
Yeah.
from from
From
DC.
DC.
That
Yeah.
DC disrespected it.
Yeah.
Oh, where's DC at?
DC.
He's Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
No, he has to be something a little bit bigger,
IHOP.
a little bit cleaner. I would think a chicken spot. All he's KFC. I don't know.
He's KFC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Uriah Faber,
Damn. Chicken
California
cafe. Chicken
Chicken
cafe.
Cafe.
California chicken
I
cafe.
was thinking, is he gonna be CPK? Is he gonna be a pizza kitchen guy?
No, he'll be chicken cafe.
California
The
Chicken Cafe,
California
right?
kid, chicken cafe.
Yeah, the California kid, right? Um, Derek Lewis, we got him at Popeyes. Let me see. Oh,
Max Holloway's L&L.
oh shit, you read my mind.
Yeah, Max Holloway's L&L.
He has to be.
Yeah.
BJ Penn is a supervisor.
Damn, BJ Penn. He works at the Spam Factory.
Don't disrespect the prodigy, man.
No,
Put
but
some respect.
Spam's popular in a lot of places.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
he's a Spam Factory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see who else. Who else would make an interesting fast food employee? Well, Cain Velasquez works at a taco spot for sure, right?
Has to. Which one though?
He works at the King Taco.
Is he? But he's a little more whitewashed, right? Does he work at Chipotle?
Oh, Del Taco. No, Chipotle's good. No,
Yeah.
yeah, Chipotle's good, definitely.
Yeah. Right.
Um, let's see. Yair Rodriguez. He probably works at a
Oh,
real
he's
Mexican.
legit. He's like from
Yeah,
Mexico for reals. Yeah, he's
he's legit
Takoyama.
Mexican.
He's Takoyama. King Taco. Either or.
Either or, it has to be one of those, right?
No, he's the guy with the cart with the shaved ice. the Palatero
Mm.
man. Yeah, he's that
The
dude.
paleta de
Yeah,
elotes.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll fucks with that. Hey, dude, those guys work, man. Fucking, those guys are fucking hustlers.
Dude, they're any weather, hot, cold, good neighborhood. Well, not good, bad neighborhood, bad neighborhood. Those dudes are grinding.
Grinding, dude, day in and day out. Where does Adesanya work? I feel like he works at the Gap. He doesn't work fast food. That dude has a mall
No,
job.
H&M, H&M, H&M. That's more his style.
Yeah. Where does let's get we we gotta go champ for champ.
Okay.
What about Amanda Nunes? Where's Amanda Nunes working at?
Amanda Nunes works at
Is she a
Fogo de
Bath and Body?
Chao, the
What?
Brazilian spot. Fogo de Chao,
Uh
Beverly Hills.
um
All you can eat Brazilian barbecue.
the guy the is she the hostess?
No, she's the manager because she's badass.
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. She's the
Jose
regional manager. She runs
Jose
shit.
Aldo's a cook there though, right?
Aldo is either the cook or the dope ass valet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he protects your cars from bums.
He's the Salt Bay of Fogo de Chao,
Oh, he is. Yeah, they
right?
call him. Yeah, they call him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
comes in and pours salt like that.
What's Conor McGregor? McDonald's?
It's too easy. It has to be
It
McDonald's.
has to. He's Irish. The most famous Irish restaurant with the most famous Irish guy.
You think Irish people get pissed though, like when they think about McDonald's?
Yeah, because not only is it not like real Irish, but it's also like an Americanized Irish. Like
Yeah.
these were like American dudes who
Yeah.
had no roots in Ireland anymore, right?
Right. Yeah, it doesn't make any no disrespect to the Irish folks, but that's probably what we would put McDonald's just because we don't know
Yeah,
any better.
yeah, we don't know any better.
I don't know any Irish pubs that I can name. But yeah, he'd probably work at a pub. I mean, that makes sense. He'd be pouring his own whiskey.
No, but he makes money, lots of money, like
That's
McDonald's.
true. Like
Everyone
McDonald's.
knows his name, like McDonald's.
Round the clock for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
world famous.
he has to be at McDonald's.
He's more famous than Ronald McDonald at this point.
Yeah, who works at Wendy's?
Ooh. Hmm. Shit. Who works at Wendy's? Damn.
Is there any redheads?
I you know what I put? No, yeah, Felder, isn't he?
Okay, Felder.
Yeah,
You
Felder.
work at Wendy's, Felder. Sorry, bro.
Right. Kelvin Gastelum. I feel like he works at
Baja
not
Fresh.
where?
Baja Fresh. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
We gave Kane Chipotle. You got to be the lower level, and that's
Yes.
Baja Fresh. Yeah.
Where does Usman work at?
Usman. Damn, he said he loves fried rice. So I love fried rice too. He works at a fried rice truck.
Who's got the best? Oh yeah, yeah. I can see him coming off of a food truck.
Yeah.
It's a little gourmet because he seems a little
Yeah,
highfalutin.
yeah. It's an expensive fried rice. You're paying $15 for that, but it's like high end everything.
Kobe Covington works at Cracker Barrel, correct?
No, Colby.
Yes,
Damn,
he
where does he
does.
work?
Where else is
Yeah,
he gonna
Cracker
work
Barrel's
but
good. Cracker
Cracker
Barrel's
Barrel,
good.
right?
Yeah,
That's
that's good.
that's more his speed.
Yeah, yeah.
Where does Masvidal work at?
Masvidal. What's
He's
that?
he's
Versailles. He looks at Versailles.
well. I was gonna say he's got to be at a chicken joint because he's got the 2 piece and the 3 piece and a soda, right?
Oh, but you can get that at Versailles. You can order chicken and a
Yeah,
drink. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
works
I'll
at
fuck with
Versailles.
that. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wonder what all these guys would think about the places we've given them places of employment.
95% of them would love it. Steve would probably hate us for saying he has no personality.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's hey, dude, if that's the case, speak up. Talk some shit. He doesn't really call anybody out after his fights, does he?
No,
I
no.
mean, I know he talked about DC because obviously he wanted to get the rematch.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, that's the thing is like these guys. It should almost be in their contract. Like you got to call somebody out after every fight.
No, you know what? So it shows you the power of being skilled at talking, right? Look at Chael Sonnen. He is not a top three fighter, really,
Mhm.
historic in his career, right? If you said 185, are you putting Chael in the top five of 185 of all time? No, but he talked so much and he was so good at it, so clever and witty. He made himself a top three guy of all time at 185. Just he talked his way into fights with Anderson Silva.
Chel Chelson works at Keys Toyota in a used car lot for sure.
Chell, do you know he did real estate for a while
I'm sure.
and he
Did he
got
go to jail
caught
for that?
doing something illegal?
I was gonna say, didn't he go to jail for that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Some sort of no. He was also part of the government. I think it was something along those lines. He was like a councilman or something in Oregon.
Okay.
But yeah, but he did some crazy shit down
We
there.
should have him fight Tito Ortiz for the strongest councilman of all time.
Yeah, they fought, and I still think that fight was rigged, even though everyone says that it wasn't. But
Who won the fight?
what's that?
Who won that fight? I don't even
Uh,
remember it.
Tito won,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but there was a
Oh, wait,
question.
that wasn't Bellator, right?
Yeah, there was a questionable tap
Okay. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think Chael had him in a chokehold, and then you could see there's a part where he kind of like taps Chael's arm.
Okay.
And then, if I recall correctly, he taps his arm, and all of a sudden, his grip just got loosened up, and then Tito was able to get out of it and secure the victory. So
So you think that Chell should have won?
I think Chael could beat him,
Yeah.
but I think Tito could beat him too. But I just feel like it was I don't know. I feel like it was rigged. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
There's been a few fights like that. There was Ken Shamrock versus I think it was when he fought Kimbo.
Okay.
There was one fight with it might have been also against Tito. I don't remember, but there was one Shamrock fight that I felt like was really thrown.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to throw too much shade on the sport because I love MMA too much. I hope it didn't really happen. It's just some stuff seemed fishy. I think they even asked Dana. Put it this way: people talked about it. And I think somebody even asked Dana White, and Dana White was like, "No, these guys would never do that."
Yeah.
But I think it's just because it wouldn't be good
The
for
sport
him for
as a
the
whole.
UFC if there was any cases of that stuff going on.
Yeah.
But you could see it happening. I mean, these guys are already past their prime. They want to you know throw jabs at each other and get personal, but at the end of the day, like we want to get paid.
It's business.
I'm sure Tito was probably making a lot more money for that fight than Chael was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's like, "Hey man, I want to win and I want to keep fighting. So I'll kick you down X amount of cash out of my purse and on the side, and that way I can keep a win. I could start building like a win streak. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Because I mean, if Tito wasn't winning, would he be a draw?
No, he's a draw just because he's Tito at this point.
Yeah, even now though.
Yeah, there's still a lot of Tito fans. A lot of nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you'll never stop loving him.
It's kind of both. Like they love him and they want to see him say something dumb.
Yeah, yeah. I'm uncomfortable with those videos. They're too cringy, man. That guy, oh, dude.
It's
If
not a
anybody,
skill set. It's not his skill set. That's for sure.
dude, if I've gotten so much entertainment off YouTube video compilations of
You
of
know?
Tito, but I literally have to look away sometimes. I just it's it's like did you watch The Office?
No,
You never watched The Office?
just clips.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely do yourself a favor, watch it.
Okay.
But yeah, the Michael Scott character, Steve Carell's character, it's the worst cringy moments of Steve Carell times a
I
thousand
I think
with Tito Ortiz.
with
But his are
Tito,
real life. That's the scary thing.
yeah, with Tito though, what makes it worse is that he's very proud of what he's saying. Like it's good.
Yeah.
Like when you
Yeah.
see Cejudo knows he's not good at it. So it's kind of just like this joke at this point. Tito's really bad. Really, really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Do you got anything else? My laptop's about to die. I could charge it if you got something else.
no man, I'm good to go.
You want to call it?
Yeah, let's call it a night, man. That was awesome.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 7. Felipe, your friend, a giant monster. We are out.
Take care, everybody.